books and bookcases in the National Assembly are still smoldering. Firefighters have been applauded for responding swiftly to the call when the fire broke out in Parliament yesterday morning. The spokesperson for the City of Cape Town's Fire and Rescue Services, Jermain Carelse, is on the line to speak to us about developments this morning. Jermain, firstly, thank you very much for availing yourself this morning. No doubt a very tiring time for yourself and your team. Let's start with that update, maybe firstly on your team. Is everybody okay this morning?
Yes, good morning to you, your listeners, and obviously the viewers. Yes, everyone's okay. There were no injuries. Luckily, the building was unoccupied at the time that we received the call of that fire at the building in Parliament.
And what is it that you can tell us in terms of what we know this morning about the fire in the building?
Well, where it started, that was at the old assembly, about the old assembly, the third floor that has been obviously completely gutted. That housed office space as well as a gymnasium, and obviously the roof collapsed. There was damages, sustainable damages on the second floor, and water damage as well. The National Assembly, we've got the ceiling that caved in as you enter the lobby area. Inside the assembly hall itself, the first floor, second floor, third and fourth floor sustained extensive damages, and I think this will take months to repair and to have the National Assembly as it were once.
Has the fire been completely put out this morning?
Well, there's a couple of hotspots still that the crews are attending to. I see now just at around 9:30, 4 new fresh crews will relieve the crews that's currently in attendance there. And because the building is still, there's that build-up of heat still in certain areas of the building. So they will be there monitoring, and obviously if there are any flare-ups, and they will go floor by floor to see where perhaps all the hotspots are, and then obviously extinguish that. But we will be on site for considerable time before the building is handed over, and before the people can go through, the structural engineer and all the other officials, to have a look-see of the extent of those damages.
A considerable time is what, please? You say you'll be there for a considerable time, meaning what, in the next week, in the next 2 days? Is there any indication?
Sorry, you broke up there.
No problem. You say you'll be there for a considerable amount of time. Are we talking about the next 24, 48 hours, perhaps into the week?
Yes, no, I would think for the duration of the day.
If you can take us through the detail, right? So from the person that logged the call, and when you got the call, we understand you were there in a short amount of time. What is the life of a firefighter like when you have to get prepared? You were there, and we understand, in like 6 minutes. So talk us through the person that logged the call, what was said, and leading up to this moment when you responded.
Yes, that call was received at 12 minutes past 6 in a control center at Goodwood Fire Station. We have a command and control center there, and the vehicles were dispatched normally for a building fire. That would be 2 pumps and an aerial appliance. So Roland Street Fire Station was the first pump to have been dispatched, and they were there within 5 to 6 minutes of the call. And our firefighters, the City of Cape Town's Fire Service, we work a 24-hour shift. So we start in the morning at 9. And we run through till the next morning 9. Hence, we had relief crews throughout the day just to keep the guys fresh every 5 to 6 hours. And this morning, the new crews came on shift, say from 9 o'clock, and obviously they asked for about four pumps or 4 crews to relieve the crews that were currently there. So we've got 32 fire stations across the boundaries of the city. And with those resources, we are capable of handling any kind of emergency. And the swift response obviously shows that the diligence and the professionalism of our team of firefighters.
What kind of challenges did you experience with this incident in particular?
Well, there was a couple of challenges. Firstly, gaining access to the building itself, opening certain areas where the doors were locked, and with security issues, security gates where the firefighters had to use forcible entry to gain access to these premises. Also, the layout of the area. If for instance, there would have been persons on board there that could have told the guys exactly where and how to get to a certain point within the building, it would have been helpful. But these are lessons that we all learn from. There's no one to blame, but it's just a lesson that we have to learn and take on board.
We understand there are some books that are still smoldering at this point. Well, that was the update that we got this morning. But in terms of the work that you do when it comes to historical artifacts and heritage artifacts that are stored within this building, what is the procedure in terms of what to do with them? I guess I'm asking for restoration purposes, or is there no time to even think about that? The point is just to put the fire down.
Well, if we are alerted to where certain artifacts or valuable items are, and if persons are on site, those we call that salvage operations. Now, while we're busy with firefighting operations, those valuable items can be taken out. But according to my knowledge, the library that's situated in the National Council of Province section, that was actually unscathed.
We understand that this is the second time that this is happening. Of course, this is on a bigger scale. There was a fire in this building last year, and there was also a report with recommendations in terms of what to do. From your assessment, were those recommendations followed?
Well, what I can tell you, I wasn't privy to the report. I hear now that the report wasn't made public. But what I can tell you, the facts are that we were there on the 16th of March last year. That was just about before 11, and that was in room 454 of the old assembly. Speculation has it that it was due to an electrical fault. Whoever got the report or have the recommendations, that I wouldn't know if that was implemented.
Thank you very much for the work that you and the team is doing, and we give you a standing ovation, and we also ask that you stay safe for your families as well. Jermain Carelse is the spokesperson for the City of Cape Town's Fire and Rescue Service. Thank you.